SpaceX, owned by US billionaire Elon Musk, is preparing to launch tens of thousands of satellites into Earth orbit as part of a plan to cover our planet with high-speed internet. There has been growing concern since the company demonstrated the initial routes to take in the constellation Starlink in 2019, fearing that this would distort the beautiful sky. Scientists have also had concerns about the future of these satellites, which may limit the ability to explore outer space. Suffice it to say that a single satellite may cause some interference in the images of the telescopes that monitor objects close to the horizon, causing damage to observations that track asteroids near the Earth. Also, these satellites emit radio waves, and they emit unseen wavelengths. These waves may interfere with observing telescopes directed to observe outer space. They then damage the images of telescopes, some of which may require cumbersome monitoring to be obtained. However, a preliminary study published by arcs4.org on January 2 and has not yet been controlled by specialists indicated that the Starlink satellites may be invisible to the naked eye. And according to the study, which took place on 430 satellites recently launched by the SpaceX company, the possibility that 415 of them will be invisible, thanks to the sun masks that the company recently supplied to these satellites. According to a report published by Business Insider, these masks can prevent sunlight from bouncing back from the shiny surfaces of satellites. And these satellites with these masks, which the company called VisorSat, were 31% less luminous than their predecessors of the 540 satellites. Anthony Malama, the author of the current study, noticed the brightness of 5.92 for the VisorSat moons, which means that they may be seen with the naked eye under certain conditions. This is confirmed by Jonathan McDowell, an astronomer at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, saying, "Most of these satellites fall slightly below the limits of the ability of the naked eye to see them, for the most part." However, these satellites are still 2.5 times brighter than the company aims to reach. It is also still so bright that it affects space telescopes, which does not change anything of the obstacles that these moons pose to astronomers. A victory, but it is incomplete, McDowell comments. However, it will enable common people to enjoy the view of the sky. However, these moons will be an obstacle to telescopes directed to monitor outer space, because the sky around us will be filled with many false stars within a few years, which will impede the efforts of scientists to study celestial bodies and protect the Earth from deadly asteroids. And aspires SpaceX to achieve the amount of brightness of 7 degrees as a minimum. This means that these moons will be 2.5 times less bright than they are now, and therefore you will not see with the naked eye. Until then, the Starlink satellites will remain a source of interference to telescopic observations, in addition to the damage they may cause to the data collected by astronomers. It is worth noting that SpaceX launched more than 950 satellites during the past 2 years alone. Some early experiences provided a service similar to broadband internet performance in some rural areas of the United States. The company has also won approval from the U.S. Federal Communications Commission, which does not list the satellite's potential impact on astronomy as a condition of licensing to launch 12,000 satellites into Earth orbit by 2027. This comes as part of SpaceX's long-term plan, which aims to launch 42,000 spacecraft, double the total number of satellites in Earth's orbit before the Starlink satellites begin to exist with them.